Welcome to MacroCode. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed with our employees smart app. So as you can see, we have our login page and the password. So here you can actually key in the details on the password as we had done previously, and also the username. Then when you click login, so we had actually coded up to this particular point. So if we click login, then you should be able to see that we have our values for password and the username. So we actually need these two very important details for us to actually authenticate our mobile app with our API. So, but before doing anything, we need first to validate the username and password to check if there is any value that has been supplied. So what I want us to do, I want us to create another folder. So for this folder, we are going to call it, so let's just stop our app. So for this folder, we are going to call it validations. So we call it validations. So we are going to have our validations here. So today I want to introduce you guys to now the Fluent validation. So we had actually added our Fluent validation extension, NuGet package. So if you just right click on the NuGet package, go to packages, then on the NuGet package area, you can actually search for, you can browse for Fluent validation. Fluent validation. So once you have that, you can actually install the Fluent validation dependency injection extension. So that is one of the things that you need to do. Then here, I want us to create a class called login. So let's just call it login page validator. So let's call it login page validator. That is our class. So this is so we can do here public. So I'm going to increase the font so that you're able to see. So on our login page validator, so what I want us to do now here is I want us to do, this is, we can actually implement. So you can implement abstraction. Let's just do here abstract. So we need to abstract validator. So this is actually borrowing from Fluent validation. So you can see it is actually using Fluent validation there. So then here, we need to now pass the, so what I want us to do here is we need to have our login page view model. So that is our login page view model. Then we need a constructor here. So I just do here CTO. That is our constructor. That is the login page validator. Then we now need to validate some of the inputs that we have. So I'll just do here rule for, then I just do here x dot username. So that is username. We don't want username that is empty. And if it is empty, we can pass a message. So we can do with message. So we can do with message, and you can actually pass the message here. So you say username is required. So that is what we need to do. So that is one of the validation. We can also check in case you have the minimum values. So you can actually do here dot. So you can say dot minimum length. So you can say it should not be less than 3 characters. Then you say with message. So you can combine some validations on this particular input. So you say username must be at least 3 characters. So that is one. So you can also do for password. So you say dot rule for, then we say x, then we say password. Should not be empty as well. So if it's empty, we also pass a message. So we say with a message, and we can pass a message here. Say password is required. So we say password is required. So also for the password, we can actually check for, if you are add coding, you can also validate from here. But this is just to check some of the values that we have supplied. So what I want us to do is here, I want us now to go to our login page. So let's just go to our login view model. So we need now to make sure that we are using our login view model. So if you come here, you can actually say here, say variable validator, then we say equals to, so we do equals to, say new login validator. So if we do this, we are able to check that. Then we can actually say, we can actually have our, so I want us to define something here. So let's just do private validation result. So I'll just do validation result. That is for Fluent validation. So don't take for the system component data annotation. I want for the Fluent validation. Then I'll just do a result. Then I can actually even say this is new validation result, and I can annotate it here, validation property. So this one, so this is okay. So for me, I'll have the validation result, then validation result, and I can also, let's just have this as underscore validation result. So here, I can actually say here, I want to get the result. So I can say validate. So we need to validate all the properties. So here I'll just do this dot validate result equals to, so I'll say await, then I say dot validator, then I say validate async. So this one, what do we need to pass? We need to pass our model. So we just say this, and we should be able to get the result. So this should be await. So it should be await validator. So actually it should be this one. It should be validator.validate async. So if you do that, then you should actually check for possible errors. So if there are errors, then do not continue, and actually pause those or alert those errors. So we can say if the validation is not valid, then what do we need to do here? So we need to say we should actually set this to false. So let me just, so this should actually set this. So you can actually return, we end at that particular point. But if it is valid, then we proceed. But what I want us to check, so let's just confirm this particular validation up to this particular point. So I want us to launch our app. So let's just launch our app and see. So if you're watching this video and you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. We notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So please subscribe, consider liking the video, comment down below. And also in case you need the source code, you can actually access the source code using the link down below. So we are going to link this particular application to our API, and you should be able to log in and actually access some of the data that we had created on our employees management system. So let's just wait for our app to launch, and we will be able to see how this validation looks like. So our app is launching, so let's just wait and see. So there we go. So it's actually launching. So we are going to see if we are able to get the validation for all the fields. That is the username and password. So that is how we are going to validate our mobile app going forward. So let's just see how this comes up. So we notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So if you are one of them, please consider subscribing. and that will go a long way in ensuring that you motivate us to post more of this content. So you see, I've supplied my username and password. So if I click login, there we go. So you can see our validator here has been initialized, and you can see the errors is 0, is valid, is true, rules set executed is null. So if we proceed here, we should be able to see that our is valid is true, and you're able to, it will actually jump to here, it is actually valid. So you see it is valid. That is because we supplied all the fields. So assuming we remove the username here. So we've actually deleted the username. So we've deleted the username. And if I click login and proceed, you should be able to see that we have an error. So we have 2 errors. So you see, one of the error is username is required, and also we have another error, which is username must be at least 3 characters. So if we proceed down here, we realize that is valid is false. So that means our application will not proceed and we cannot be able to do anything. So it has returned and we have not been able to proceed. So what I want us to do now, I want us to display those errors in our application. So we have the validation, the errors that we've received from the validator, and we want them to appear on our app. So we can actually display the errors here that we are actually getting from our validation, that is validator. So what I want us to do is I want us to get that those errors in a list, so then we can actually return them. So just do here validation, then I just do validation result errors, then here dot we can say dot select error messages. So let's just check that, then select error messages. So these are the messages, then we can actually join them, and these will be, you can say variable all errors, then that is it. So you can say all, so these should be all errors, and these are the errors in a single string. Then we can actually return them in an alert. So you can say up, then we say all errors. So you can actually return this here. So you can say return that. Sorry, I think we need to do this. So if we do that, then we can actually return these in an alert. So let's just launch our app and see. Sorry, we need to close this. So if we do that, you can actually return all these in an alert. So let's just launch our app and see. So you should be able to get those errors in a single string, and you should be able to pop up and show it to the user. So whenever you log in, when you click that, you are able to get all the errors that are actually been validated. So let's just see and be able to see how our app looks like. So for those who are new to this channel and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. So let's just wait for our app to launch, then we check how the validation appear. So there we go, our app has launched. So let's just confirm. So if we just click, let's put a breakpoint here. We just click this as OK, then you'll be able to see we have a list of errors. So you see, these are the list of errors, and you're able to see them. So let's just confirm these errors if they're OK. So an alert has been, so let's just proceed and see. So you can see username is required, password is required. So we have actually validated our app, and we're able to show the errors based on what has happened in our app. So I think that is it for today. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, like the video, and see you in our next episode. Bye.